He's fought legends, Klitschko, Usyk, Ruiz, Ngannou.
Biggest shot I have seen live.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared.
Nice and relaxed. And again.
Train with Alexander Usyk's team. So I don't know if that means Alexander Usyk per se, but Alexander Usyk's team. I have no issues with that at all.
You've got to find the belief in yourself, not in somebody else's system. You know what I mean? It's like Usyk's team might show him bits and bats of stuff. He doesn't box like Usyk. Can they train AJ to be similar to what Usyk's doing? AJ, you've got to pick out the best of what AJ does, and you've got to pick out the worst and improve the worst in him.
Jake Paul reacts after watching the leaked footage of Joshua training with Usyk, and he can't hide it. His jaw drops, his eyes go wide, and he lets out a nervous chuckle, clearly thrown off. For a brief moment, his bravado fades as he realizes just how huge the challenge ahead truly is. Even Jake Paul knows this is serious.
So powerful, so skillful, relentless pressure.
Where's he from?
He's from Arizona.
US.
Here we see Jake wrestling with reality. He openly admits he's scared, fully aware that this fight could push him to his limits and possibly even knock him down, yet he insists that fear won't hold him back. It's a clear clash between confidence and reality, and Jake is visibly calculating just how high the stakes truly are.
Because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder. I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what
Anthony Joshua's training footage is nothing short of intimidating. Every jab, every combination, every movement radiates precision and power. Watching this makes it clear why Jake Paul's confidence shakes. The sheer intensity and discipline on display expose just how massive the gap is between him and a world-class champion preparing for a fight of this level. Duke McKenzie highlights a crucial point. AJ working with the Usyk camp has elevated his game to an entirely new level. The blend of skill, strategy, and elite preparation means Jake Paul isn't just up against Joshua. He's up against a fighter sharpened by one of the best camps in boxing, and the odds of Jake Paul keeping pace have just dropped dramatically.
Is Joshua training with the Usyk camp now?
Yeah, he's training with the Usyk camp.
If he's training with the Usyk camp and there's a marked improvement on his performance, he could quite easily clean up again.
Listen, what I'm saying...
Usyk doesn't hold back. He outright dismisses Jake Paul as a legitimate contender. Calling him out for even attempting to face Joshua, Usyk emphasizes the massive gap in skill and professionalism. For Jake Paul, it's a harsh reminder that he's stepping into a world far beyond influencer fame, a world ruled by experience, speed, and Olympic-level precision.
Was a bit him bad and good.
Billy Nelson doesn't sugarcoat anything. According to him, this fight is purely a money move for Jake Paul. The reality is harsh. Against Joshua, Jake risks being completely outclassed. Pulverized isn't an overstatement. It's the blunt truth of what happens when an influencer steps into the ring with a seasoned heavyweight. Jake Paul's bravado might not even make it through the opening rounds.
It's just money in it. It's just for money. Because he'll get absolutely pulverized by Big Joshua. Pulverized.
Derek Chisora stresses that Jake Paul can be dangerous if underestimated, but he also makes it clear that AJ has every tool needed to dominate. His advice is straightforward: take control from the opening moment and end the fight decisively. For Jake Paul, this shapes into a nightmare scenario. One misstep could turn all his bold talk into a harsh and humbling reality.
But I will say this to AJ: don't let that guy knock you out, because that will be fucking nightmares forever. But one or two, put it this way, AJ has to kill him in 3.
Duke McKenzie lays it out plainly. This is a true clash of worlds. Anthony Joshua, a disciplined, world-class athlete, is stepping in against someone who, despite all the fame and bravado, still lacks real professional experience. Jake Paul may project confidence, but inside the ring, it's skill, precision, and pedigree that dictate the outcome. Being easy to hit isn't just criticism, it's a warning about timing, vulnerability, and reaction speed. Every feint, jab, and combination from Joshua could expose the gaps in Jake Paul's defense. Analysts view this as a fundamental mismatch: experience and elite preparation versus showmanship. The fight might look entertaining on the surface, but the reality and the stakes are brutal, and Jake Paul is stepping into a minefield of top-tier boxing talent.
I don't think Anthony Joshua would take Jake Paul lightly, any way, shape or form, and it'd be so easy to hit. You're talking about a trained athlete against...
Spencer Oliver highlights Joshua's mindset, pride, professionalism, and a relentless competitive drive. For Jake Paul, this is intimidating, as he's preparing to face a fighter who not only has world-class skill, but also the psychological advantage of protecting his respect and legacy. Oliver predicts an aggressive approach, meaning Jake Paul will face constant pressure, precise shots, and complete tactical control. Every move Jake makes will be examined and countered, leaving almost no room for mistakes. This isn't just about throwing punches, it's about surviving against a champion who breaks opponents down piece by piece. It's a clash where strategy meets raw power, and Jake Paul's resilience will be pushed to its limits.
Sailing very close to the win, picking Anthony Joshua, because I know Joshua and I know him well, and he's a proud guy, and he will not want to lose any respect from this, and he knows that he's got to get this job done. So expect to see an aggressive Anthony Joshua, which is only bad for Jake Paul.
Anthony Joshua doesn't hold back, openly calling out Jake Paul's personality and in-ring legitimacy. His criticism goes beyond technique, it cuts directly into character and mindset. Joshua views Jake Paul's bravado as toxic, dismissing him as someone fueled by hype rather than genuine skill. For analysts and fans, this sends a clear message: Joshua sees this fight as a chance to make a statement. It's a warning that overconfidence and showmanship won't save Jake Paul once the bell rings. From Joshua's perspective, this isn't just a physical matchup, it's a lesson in humility and respect for the sport, highlighting the stark gap in experience and professionalism.
I feel like he's toxic. I feel like you can put any top heavyweight in the world up here, and he'll probably say the same thing about them all. So it's just him as a person, and then he just needs a beat down, needs humbling.
Eddie Hearn paints a striking picture of the stakes, the tension, the danger, and the ruthless mindset of Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul is facing far more than punches. He's stepping in against a champion who shows no mercy. Every nervous gulp and eye roll from Jake Paul reveals that he understands just how massive this challenge truly is. Hearn makes it clear that AJ will approach this fight with absolute decisiveness and a killer instinct, leaving zero room for mistakes. This isn't entertainment, it's high-stakes combat where inexperience collides with ruthless professionalism. Analysts agree that Jake Paul must navigate a gauntlet of power, speed, and tactical superiority from a man determined to secure victory at any cost.
You could hear the gulp, you know, when he looked up. But listen, I think he knows what he's in for. So it's a very dangerous night's work. And AJ will be, you know, people say, oh, will he take it easy on it? AJ will be AJ. He don't mess around. He don't play with his food. He'll be going in there looking to take him out as soon as possible.
Tony Bellew perfectly captures the sheer audacity of Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua. This isn't a casual exhibition or some gimmick matchup. It's dangerous, high stakes, and filled with real consequences. Bellew stresses the seriousness of the moment. Jake Paul isn't going up against a lightweight or an amateur, but a world-class, seasoned, Olympic-level athlete. Every movement and every punch matters, leaving absolutely no room for mistakes. This clash isn't just about ability, it's hype colliding with reality. And while money may be Jake Paul's motivation, this fight has the potential to define his entire career, with risks far outweighing the spectacle. Analysts view the matchup as dangerously lopsided. Jake Paul's bravado could easily crash into the unforgiving precision and power of a seasoned champion. If he underestimates the challenge, fans may witness a brutal lesson in what elite boxing truly looks like.
Money talks, as they say.
Money talks and bullshit walks. We all know that phrase. We've all seen it, but this is another level. This is a really dangerous. He ain't fighting a granddad. He isn't fighting a grandfather. It's absolute lunacy. It's insane. It's dangerously insane.
Roy Jones Jr. offers an interesting perspective on Jake Paul's behind-the-scenes approach. Despite the massive challenge of facing Joshua, Jake Paul maintains focus and composure during training, something Roy describes as calm and consistent. That mindset matters. Mental clarity can be the difference between surviving and falling apart in the ring. And while the experience gap heavily favors Joshua, Jake Paul's ability to channel nervous energy into disciplined preparation is at least a positive sign. Still, analysts warn that composure alone can't bridge the enormous divide between a social media star and a world-class heavyweight. This disciplined energy may help Jake Paul handle early pressure, but it will be pushed to the limit once he's confronted with AJ's relentless power, skill, and strategy in an actual fight.
Going through the motion, he's serious about it, so I liked it.
Yeah, like his energy was like very calming throughout the week.
Yes, it was.
Johnny Nelson doesn't hold back. He makes it clear that Jake Paul is walking straight into one of the most dangerous fights of his life. AJ isn't here to play or entertain. He fights to finish, and Nelson drives that reality home. Jake Paul's charm and showmanship may amuse fans, but they won't shield him from real punishing shots. The stakes are enormous, physically, financially, and professionally, which explains why Jake is still willing to take the risk. Analysts agree, a massive payday doesn't equal protection, and underestimating Joshua could end in disaster. Nelson's insight highlights the brutal difference between spectacle and survival. The ring is unforgiving, and AJ's power and experience make Jake Paul's challenge exponentially more dangerous.
Because Jake Paul is crazy. If he thinks he can get it with Anthony Joshua, former two-time heavyweight champion of the world, and play tiddlywinks, I don't think AJ plays touch. He plays knock the F out.
Tyson Fury throws a curveball with a bold prediction, suggesting that Jake Paul may have more potential in this matchup than people expect, despite the obvious gap in experience. Fury points to Jake's rapid rise, growing confidence, and new heavyweight frame as elements that could work in his favor. While many still view Jake Paul as a novelty act, Tyson Fury argues that Jake's size, power, and unpredictability could even pose problems for a champion like Joshua. Analysts remain split. Some dismiss the idea entirely, while others admit that AJ could run into danger if he underestimates Jake's unorthodox approach. Fury's outlook is a reminder that boxing is never fully predictable. Momentum, timing, and calculated risks can produce shocking outcomes, even when the odds are stacked heavily against an underdog like Jake Paul.
Don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
The stakes couldn't be higher. Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua is more than a spectacle. It's a test of courage, skill, and sheer survival. With leaked training footage and expert opinions flooding the conversation, the world is divided. Some view Jake Paul as a rising force with unpredictable power, while others see an unavoidable lesson waiting at the hands of a seasoned champion. Joshua's experience, precision, and relentless aggression leave almost no margin for error, while Jake Paul's preparation, focus, and confidence show that he's taking this challenge seriously. Every jab, every combination, and every split-second decision will shape the final outcome. Analysts and fans are gearing up for a showdown that could deliver either a shocking underdog upset or a brutal demonstration of elite boxing dominance. Now it's your turn. Who walks out victorious? Jake Paul defying expectations, or Anthony Joshua asserting his superiority? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you're hyped for this massive clash, and don't forget to subscribe for every reaction, breakdown, and insider update as fight night approaches. The countdown is on. This is one event nobody wants to miss.